Would you like to save on your energy cost and lower your utility bills at the same time? Then you need to call today your spray foam specialist at 275 2100. Studies by the U.S. Department of Energy show that 40% of a home's energy is lost as the result of air infiltration through walls, windows, and doorways. Insulation that is sprayed protects against moisture, which prevents the benefit of reducing the chance of harmful mold and mildew. Spray Foam Specialist provides customers with a proper assessment of all your insulation needs. Call Spray Foam Specialist today at 275 2100 for a healthier, quieter, and more energy efficient home. Spray Foam Specialist, Dublin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to Real Talk. I'm your host, Pat Terrio, and it is such a beautiful day. Of course, here we're at the Farmers Market here, downtown Dublin, Georgia. We've got a beautiful young lady with us here from Emerald Pecan Grove Garden Club. She's going to talk with us. She's the club president. How are you?
I'm great, Pat. Thank you.
Listen, it's so good to see you.
Oh, and you always.
You remember when I was a little girl, though, right?
Oh, yeah. The little energetic student.
I still am, aren't I?
Oh, you are.
Like the Energizer Bunny, I always like to say.
I think you could.
All right, Miss Susie, talk to us a little bit. Tell us about your garden club and give us some history on it, okay?
Okay, the Emerald Pecan Grove Garden Club was organized in 2000, exactly, the year of 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of as a break off for myself from the Oconee Garden Club to start a new club or a new national club.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the goals was for me to become an accredited flower show judge because the local federated clubs always did our judging,
Mm-hmm.
and they were always booked, and I figured, why can't we grow to that point ourselves? So we organized the Emerald Pecan Grove Garden Club, and I have then since taken the classes and everything and just thoroughly enjoying gardening and gardening clubbing
Mm-hmm.
and judging shows. And as a matter of fact, our small club,
Mm-hmm.
is all set to stage our very first standard flower show the last Saturday in January.
Fantastic.
And we're just looking forward to it and growing. So, like everything else,
Mm-hmm.
any activities that you sponsor cost money.
Right.
Currently, we sponsor and upkeep two civic gardens, one at the corner of Hudson and MLK Boulevard.
Right.
And we have a gateway garden out Highway 19, just at the point of the Henderson Child Care Center.
Mm-hmm.
We sponsor two youth clubs, one at Saxon Elementary School,
Right.
and our own Emerald Pecan Grove in connection with Riverview Heights complex.
Now, Miss
there.
Susie, now you guys are doing some wonderful things, and she's 15 years old.
Yes.
15 years old.
I'll be 16 in 2 months.
How long have you been gardening? And this has not been just some easy feat for you
No.
to say you want to start an accredited garden club. So how long of yourself have you
And-
been involved in gardening?
I tell you, as long as I can remember, as a teenager and even as an emerging teenager,
Right.
my parents and my whole family gardened. We grew everything that we ate.
Right.
In the line of vegetables, we had our own chickens to raise our eggs and cows and hogs, and we just always ate ate comfortably,
Right.
and it was just a way of life. And I have a joke on myself that at about the age of 11, 12, I wanted my own, very own garden. I've always been independent, so why
Right,
can't I
right.
have my
Why
own?
can't you?
Yes, and so my stepfather very graciously made me think I wanted to ply my own garden, and of course that was before we got a tractor like your
So you
dad
had to push
had. Yeah,
that
yeah.
with,
hmm And with the mule and the ply, and
and you were out there.
I was out there behind the mule with the plow,
Right.
declaring that I was doing the plowing, but my stepfather was right behind me. And I always, as far as I continued in school, for 4-H projects. My project was always a garden,
Wow.
either flowers, vegetables, but I always loved it.
And I think that's so beautiful because you're talking about how you were raised. My upbringing,
Oh,
even
yes.
though I know I'm younger than you, it was that similar way where
Exactly.
everything we ate, we grew it, we raised it. And my dad was a farmer. And I remember I used to be one of those little kids on the front porch complaining about having to shell peas. And I,
Exactly.
and my mom, I was told my mom had this beautiful rose bush in the front yard.
Exactly.
And she would love to sit out and just watch the flowers and take care of them. And even
Yes.
in her memory, my sister planted rose bushes in her
Oh,
yard in honor of my
beauty.
mom.
Beautiful.
And so, and I think that, gardening is so peaceful.
It is. It's so peaceful. And I tell a lot of my peers say, oh, I have a lawn man, or I have a gardener who takes care of my
Right,
garden.
right,
I
right.
said, well, you just go right ahead. I'll do my own, and rather than pay them to
Right.
go out and breathe the fresh air, because that's what plants do for us. They give us pure oxygen. They
Absolutely.
breathe in our carbon monoxide and give off the fresh oxygen that we need. And I said, well, I choose to stay healthy myself
Absolutely.
instead of paying somebody else to do it and stay healthy.
Absolutely. And so when you're talking about the different sponsorships and stuff, you teach. You
I
teach
do.
people
Right.
and kids on about gardening.
Oh, yes. Teaching is my passion. From having done so as a career,
Right.
I love people and teaching. And so, yes, with the kids and with the adults, the young garden club members that I'm so proud of to have these younger ones coming
Right,
along
right.
so that they can, uh, when I have to leave and go to my rest,
Right.
they will be here to just keep it going. I want to instill the love of gardening in them. And I do, at this point, have a group of young ladies who are very interested, and some of them are going to share their experiences.
Right.
But in the line of teaching projects,
Right.
in December of last year, I did a Christmas arrangement workshop, and it was open to the public at the library, and we had lots of participants and
Right.
lots of fun. So this year, looking forward to doing a different kind of teaching arrangement. We will be inviting all Garden Club members and public to come join us and learn to make living wreaths.
Oh,
And
MG.
it
Sounds
won't
great.
necessarily
Yeah.
be just for Christmas, but a living wreath, one that will continue to grow throughout the year, and you can just enjoy it.
Oh my God.
Yes,
I
and
might need to take that class.
well, I hope you
But my
will.
thumbs, Miss Susie, I mean, I'm a little rusty from my, younger days of gardening and complaining.
Well, you
My-
just come on in and sign up. We'll let you know the exact date.
That is so
in
awesome.
fact, we'll ask you to help us publish that date so that everybody in the community can decide. Well, maybe I'd like to do this. And just the thought just came to me. Why don't I just make one
Yeah.
and have you show it
That would be
so
nice.
the public can really see what we're talking about?
Well, I want one though.
Okay. You
My
must.
thumbs are not green, Miss Susie. I'm telling you, I would be one of those students that would constantly be raising my hand.
Oh, you can do it.
I
That
get
would be no
nervous with
problem.
plants. I've killed many in my day.
Well, just come to the doctor. Come to the doctor.
Dr. Susie. Well, listen, we're so thankful for everything that you have done through the years as an educator, and the fact that you're still doing those things with the garden club, and you're spreading love, you're spreading something that is so important, not just to our environment, but what it
Right.
does to us as individuals. And we thank you for
It
that.
makes you feel so comfortable. Gardening is just so very therapeutic.
Yeah, I bet you shiver when you see artificial plants in
Oh, I
someone's house.
do. Do
Don't
more
come
than
to my house.
shiver. I push them aside
Do
and
you?
try to pretend I didn't see them, and or move them.
Right, right. Miss Susie, thank you so much. We're gonna talk to some of your other members, and then we're gonna get
Yes.
the drawing done. The wonderful drawing that you all have. Um, that's gonna be a lot of money.
Well, we hope that we make at least enough to support the projects that we are
Absolutely.
trying to carry
Absolutely.
on.
Well, we're gonna talk about those projects then.
Okay, and they are anxious. They're saying, "Why don't you stop talking? It's my
All right.
turn. My turn."
Well, listen, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Okay.
It has.
This is Miss
Thank
Susie
you.
O'Neill.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Tim Brady Jr. with Dublin Ford Lincoln, and I'd like to thank all of our loyal friends and customers who have already stopped by to see our brand new state-of-the-art facility. And if you haven't stopped by, I'd like to invite you to come on out and see what we've done. I want you to know our customers deserve this, and we want you to come be a part of it. Come see us today at 2265 Veterans Boulevard. You'll love the place, you'll love the selection, and you'll love the deal we'll give you. Come see me today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. We've got the Vice President with us, Miss Diana Barclay with us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing very well.
Good.
All right, introduce yourself to everyone if you would, and tell us about what you do.
Okay. My name is Diana Barclay. I am the Vice President of Emerald Pecan Grove Garden Club. I've been a member about 5 years. I've been a gardener all my life.
Wow.
And it's my role as Vice President is to step in when the President is not available to handle the meetings and what have you.
Now, you say you've been a gardener all your life. So what kind of things have you done, that you're really proud of in this area?
Oh, I grow my own garden every year.
Like
I have
fruits, vegetables?
I have fruit trees. I have vegetable gardens. I have flower gardens.
Oh my gosh. What kind of vegetables you have?
Right now, I'm growing turnips and broccoli. I grew pumpkins earlier for my
Did you?
grandchildren. Yes, we had pumpkins earlier in the year. And I have herbs too. I have rosemary. I have basil. I have chives. I have dill.
So let me ask you this. With you gardening the way you do, how much money do you save? Gardening and producing your own produce and herbs.
Quite a bit because during the summer you grow your corn, your peas, your tomatoes, and everything, and you freeze them. I take and freeze them so when the winter comes, I have fresh garden. I don't have to go to the grocery store.
Right.
I have my own vegetables at home, and I know where they come from. I know what
You put in there.
Right, right. So it makes a difference.
Does being a good gardener require a lot of patience?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You can't just put it there and look at it, okay?
Right.
But you have to grow it and you have to nurture it and, water it and make sure that, and then, when it grows up, you go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord, I did this.
Now, are other people in your family gardeners as well? You say you grew pumpkins for your grandbabies.
I'm teaching them. I'm
You're teaching
my
them.
grandchildren.
Yeah.
They love being outside. They love
Playing in dirt.
oh, yeah, they do. They actually like planting and watching it grow up. My grandson, they don't live here,
Right.
but they come and spend the summer and weekends, and they saw the pumpkins. They go, oh wow,
Yeah.
we did that,
Right.
we did that. I said, yeah, you did that. And then the tomatoes. I have one little granddaughter that loves tomatoes, and she go out there and pick them off the vine and see. And she said, we grew this.
And you know what, Miss Diana, I don't think that I realized how blessed I was as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I just remembered the hard work that it required. I mean, my dad grew the corn, watermelon, okra, potatoes, you name it, peas, butter beans, all of those different things. But the work of canning them and shelling them and freezing them
No child likes that. I didn't like that when I was a child
know.
and I had to do it. Oh
And
my
now here
God.
you are, though. You're
But
loving
now
it.
I appreciate the
Yeah.
learning that that I learned, that I was taught rather, and now I appreciate it and I love doing it now. I have the patience to sit down and shell peas now. When I was a child, I didn't have that patience, didn't want to do it.
And now you're
But now,
instilling that within others.
yes, yes,
And so that's a good feeling.
it is. It
All
is.
right. Now listen, so let's talk a little bit now about this drawing that people are waiting for here.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay, what we're doing, we're raffling off a gift card for $250. This is going to help somebody with their Christmas.
Yeah.
They're going to be $250 richer. And this is going to help with the project with youth garden clubs and different things, and enable them to do some more projects. We'll be able to send them to youth camp and different things like that.
Wow. Now tell us about this youth camp.
Well, they could go during the summer, and they've been taught how to, become better gardeners if that's what they want. And you have a lot of children that don't know anything about gardening, about working outside, but we have some in the youth garden that are interested in it, but they just need nurturing. They need somebody to help them to, come along
And push them along the way a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know what's wonderful about this is when you think about the organizations within the schools.
Yeah.
You've got the Future Farmers of America.
Right,
And
right.
these kids are learning some wonderful things. And I think
They
that too,
are.
the youth programs that you have and how you're sponsoring other youth to really appreciate horticulture is wonderful.
Yes, it is. It is, because the children in the city, a lot of them, they don't get to do that.
Or they don't
And so
see it.
They don't see it. They don't know where the food comes from.
Right.
They really don't.
They just think it's from the store.
Right,
On
right.
aisle 5.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think too, as an adult, and like you said, how you now really appreciate things more so. I think that's the case with a lot of us.
Yes.
Because with me, I did not appreciate what I had, and I felt like I would be looking at Susie over there, where she had, XYZ, and it's like we had everything fresh.
Yes. Yes. Didn't appreciate it.
My aunt, I have an aunt who still only does fresh vegetables. If she saw a can somewhere.
If I can't do fresh, I'll do frozen. I don't do canned.
And that's very healthy too.
Yeah, it is.
Gardening is healthy therapeutically for you,
Oh, yes.
mentally, but also physically, and how it sustains us with what we eat.
It is. It really is. Working in the garden, working with your hands, it really relaxes you. Just calms you down if you, and
Absolutely. All right, so let's calm some nerves here. We're going to watch you.
okay.
She's rolling it up, ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear.
Okay, we're gonna see.
Make sure nothing's stuck over there.
All
And
right. So we'll see who the
we'll
lucky person
all right, here we go.
is. Okay. The lucky Kareem Williams.
Kareem Williams, congratulations.
All right.
You are the
Wow.
recipient of a $250 Visa gift card.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
We did it.
We did it.
All right. And so listen, we're so thankful for everything that you're doing. Because, when you talk about you step in when the president is not there, you're still very active,
Yes,
whether she is there or not. And I think
Right,
she's
right.
very fortunate to have you as a right-hand woman. And we're so glad that you all are doing so many great things with these youth.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Nice to see you again.
You too.
All
You
right.
too. All right.
Kareem Williams, congratulations. Thank you so much,
All right,
okay?
thank you.
All right.
All right.
If you're considering buying or selling property in Middle Georgia, the Kite Law Firm is dedicated to providing you with a professional and very comfortable real estate closing experience. Emily Kite has over a decade of successful real estate practice in our community. The Kite Law Firm specializes in residential and commercial real estate closings. Log on to kitelawfirm.com or call 275-4572 today. The Kite Law Firm, located on the second floor of the historical Fred Roberts Hotel in the heart of downtown Dublin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been such a wonderful day to meet members of the Garden Club. We've got a wonderful young woman here herself. She's going to introduce herself to us.
My name is Carolyn Mays. I'm a member of the Pecan Garden Club here in Dublin, Georgia, and I've been a member for probably about 5 years.
Now, and are you the secretary, Miss Carolyn?
Yes, I am.
You're the secretary. Now, like I've asked the other ladies, how long have you yourself been gardening personally? I know that it's been more than 5 years.
Of course. Growing up in Dublin, my parents gardened, and we had to assist them. And Mom had beautiful flowers in her garden, so that kind of instilled in me to continue that process. So I always love flowers.
You know, they said my mom, when she'd be working in the garden or anything, she'd be humming and singing. They said that was like her time.
Yeah.
If she wasn't fishing, she'd be working in the garden.
Right, right, right.
And so let's talk about what your job entails with the garden club as the secretary.
Well, just recording our minutes and keeping our members update on if they're not present to let them know what happened at the meeting. So basically, if I'm not there, someone will fill in for me. But because I live out of town, so but Dublin is my home.
You're a Dublin girl.
Yes, born and raised
Born
in
and
Dublin.
raised.
Yeah.
Now tell us about this. Like, how often do you all meet?
We meet once a month, the third Thursday of each month.
And they say that you've got a lot of projects going, but we want to talk to you specifically about garden therapy.
Garden therapy is part of the garden club, statewide and national projects that garden clubs can be involved in, and it's like a community involvement. Most of the projects involve our involvement with nursing homes and healthcare facilities that we can make little arrangements or take cards or do stockings at Christmas and things of that nature.
And what are the benefits to doing this?
Well, it just makes the people really feel that they're not left out, that there's someone always thinking about them, even though there are a lot of other people in the community doing great things for them as well. But this is one of our projects that we would like to do as well, to be able to be out in the community and be visible.
Absolutely. And you know, you're right. When you have fresh flowers and fresh plants around, it helps you with your breathing.
Of course.
It's very relaxing. And you know, it's just a beautiful thing to look at, to enjoy as
Right.
well.
Yes, and I think everybody loves flowers. We I've always grown up with them, so no matter what time of year, flowers are always important.
Now, what's your favorite type flower and plant?
I don't have a favorite. I just love all kind, whether they bloom or just the greenery. Just seeing them makes me feel good. So I don't have a special.
Do you have a lot of them around your house?
No, I do not.
But you like to do a lot. Now, so your yard, do you have a lot of different things in your yard, or?
A lot of things. Most of my things are just greenery, and a few things that bloom in the spring. That's about it. I don't have any other flowers.
Well, greenery is the key word,
Right.
because you got to keep it green.
Right.
You know, and as I said, I struggle. I struggle with, keeping plants green. I've got one in my house. I call her Sissy.
Sissy.
She was one given to me. I have, there were 9 girls in my family, and this plant was given to me on my birthday when all of my siblings were alive, all of my sisters. And right after I got Sissy, one of my sisters died. And so I've kept her with me for like 7 years. She's a little scraggly now, though.
I can
So
imagine.
what kind of it? She's a little scraggly,
Well,
but she's
plants-
still green.
Yeah, plants need, just like we do, some 10 to 11 care. You got to talk to them.
I do talk to her. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, girl.
Place them in a good spot in your
Right.
home,
Yeah.
the light maybe, and not away so much from the heat vents, but
Right.
and maybe they'll do well.
And you know
And
what?
you got to water them. Don't forget to.
I do water her. Look how you just you just acting like I don't water, Sissy. I do, but I'm not that good with plants. But I know it does require
Right.
taking the time out and pruning them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. All right, and listen, and so the therapy that you all do, the garden therapy, you're doing it in a lot of things in the communities, which is
community.
a wonderful thing to do.
Right.
I bet it makes you feel good when you're able to go in there and just see the smiles on their faces.
Oh yes, yes. We
Yeah.
did a project last spring, and the ladies there were very receptive.
Yeah.
and very glad to see us and put a smile on their face. So
Well,
that
listen,
was good.
that's wonderful. Thank you for continuing to put smiles on people's faces.
Thank you.
And thank you for that tip you just gave me that I need to water Sissy.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, you've been getting quite a few tips about gardening, and myself, I've been getting a few of my own. We've got one of the newest members with us, Miss Cheryl Banks, ADA. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing today, Pat?
Very good. All right, now, Cheryl, we need to hear from you to kind of talk about what your experience has been as a member of the garden club.
Well, I met Miss O'Neill at church one Sunday, and she said, "You need to join the garden club," and I said, "No." Then I thought,
No.
I said, "No," and then I thought about it. I do not have a green thumb. I have a black thumb. I kill all my plants. So I said, you know what? What's the best thing to do is join the garden club and learn how to keep my plants alive. So I have now a garden container, and we have a meeting. We have a meeting every month,
Right.
And in that meeting, we at the end of the meeting, we have classes.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to grow anything, come to our meetings, and at the end of the meetings, we have an informational meeting, and that's where I learned how to do container gardening. And container gardening is where you have your little plants in a container, and she shows us how to keep them alive. And the tip that I'm going to give you,
Yes.
that I received from Miss O'Neill is that
Yes.
use a plastic water bottle, the one that you drink, you see everybody drinking.
Right.
Use that punch hole in the bottom of it,
Right.
and put that down in your soil in your container.
Right.
And that's what you put your water in, and your water goes straight to your roots. And I have my container gardens on my front porch, and they are alive and thriving.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we take a pot.
Take a pot.
Okay.
And you know how big, if I want my container garden is on my front porch.
Right.
So it's really a huge pot. And I have 3 or 4 different types of planting that will grow together and look beautiful together.
Right.
And then you take your water bottle that you've been drinking out
Right.
of, and it's water conservation in the garden club. That's a new thing I learned, water conservation.
Water conservation.
In the garden club. Learn something new, you have to use the word.
Right.
So you punch holes at the bottom of it, crump it up, punch holes up. And then when you're trying to plant your plants, make sure you put that at the
Center,
bottom,
in
in the center,
right.
so that you can have the top of it above the soil.
Right.
Pour your water down in there, and that's where your roots will get the most water of, because the plastic water bottle will take the water out
So
to the
you
roots.
punch holes in the bottom of it?
In the
or on
bottom of
side?
on the sides of it, all the way around it, so that when you pour your water through there, the water will seep down to the roots.
So Sissy has a chance.
Sissy has a good chance. I want you to repot Sissy, and I want you.
I'm gonna have to.
And I want you to put the water ball in there, and make sure that you get a big enough pot now.
That's what the thing is.
Sometimes our plants get pot bound. Pot bound, I mean like they're like this.
So too tight.
Too tight.
That's what Sissy, she's probably crying.
Really.
Now, okay, so you've been a member for a year. You started off where, like me, you weren't a gardener, but now you've learned so much.
I've learned so much, and I'm trying to grow plants inside the house. I have one plant that was given to me, and it's growing, it's thriving. But I always have to remember to water it, and I tell you. And then you have a craft of overwatering plants. So I've done that. I've killed a lot of plants by overwatering it, giving it too much love.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much talking to them.
Too much talking to them. And some plants are just temperamental.
Yeah.
I found out one plant I had was I talked to it. It was just
Leave me alone.
no, right. But I gave it to a male coworker,
Right.
and he sat on his desk and
It grew.
it grew.
It's weird. That's weird.
I said she was a female plant.
Probably was.
Doesn't like being weird. But I joined the garden club. And you have so much fun, and the people are so enjoyable because they're really master gardeners, and they give you all the tips that you need, and they come out and help you with your garden at your home, and they really want to help you learn the garden. As Ms. O'Neill said, they really want to pass on that gene that they have, and that thrive of love.
It's like a legacy that they're passing on.
They really do.
So now, what if someone wanted to become a member? What would they need to do?
They would just contact Miss O'Neill or contact the Vice President, Miss Diana Barkley, and they would give the information. And I think it's $50 for a year membership, and then they come to the meetings.
And then they're well on their way to being green thumbs.
Green thumbs. I'm hoping I may have a green thumb at the end
Let
of
me
the year.
see it. You're getting there. It's like a lime green. Well, listen, Cheryl, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your experience about starting off as a new member and how you're really enjoying it and seeing the great benefits of what you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having our garden club on the air.
All right.
We
This
really
is Miss
appreciate it.
Cheryl Banks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.